There's my girl. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I hope you're not sick of my voice yet. After an incredible summit, I said it to y'all on Saturday night as we were kind of giving our last hugs and walking in our different directions. But this summit truly was my favorite. Now, I will never call last year, like, I can't call that like summit. Like, I mean, it was, but it was more like a slumber party. So when I'm looking at like live face-to-face summits, I'm not comparing it to last year. I am comparing it to all the other live face-to-face. Truly was my favorite. In the chat, I want you guys to tell us what was like the one thing that was your favorite part. If you had to pick one moment that just stood out to you that you will remember for the rest of your life, what was it? Drop it for us in the chat. What did you love most? This also helps me, by the way, as a leader to think about next year, what really was impactful for you. And if it's something that I can control, I can definitely make sure that I'm implementing things like that again. Yeah, there's nothing like getting up at the butt crack of dawn working out with like 10,000 other people. It's insane. And then also like working out, I don't know how many calories y'all burn, but like I think I was like upwards of like between 500 and 600, which is just ridiculous for me. Like that never happens. Brendan Burchard, yes. Rewards dinner, food bank. No, Annie, you only get one. Selfie with Joel, so good. Yeah, I feel like the super trainers were so present and accessible this summit. I loved that. Meeting people was definitely a high for a lot of you guys. And I think it's so cool. I was telling Tracy in a voicemail earlier, like I met Tracy for the first time and it truly did not feel like it at all. Like, and I feel the same about all of you guys who I met for the very first time. It really didn't feel like it, which is what's so surreal about this community and this team. Loved it. A couple things while you guys are finishing up what was your favorite part or what was impactful for you. Remember, our summit ticket is on sale today for the lowest price it will be forever. Today's the last day to get it. So I'm being serious right now. I would rather you leave this, go get your summit ticket and handle that so that you don't accidentally forget. Because I'm like totally that person that's like, okay, don't forget after team call, cancel your Fabletics. And then I don't cancel my Fabletics and I wake up the next day and I'm like, crap, I didn't cancel my Fabletics. I don't want you guys to wake up tomorrow and be like, crap, I forgot to get that summit ticket she told me to go get, because I know it's on your mind. I know you're going to go do it, but sometimes you're like, I'm going to get through team training, and then, and then you think of other things to do when you get off. So right now, I'm not kidding you. If you do not have your summit ticket yet, go to coachsummit.com, bow out for 2 seconds, go get that, and then come back so you don't miss out on that sale price. Make sure also that once you get that confirmation email, that you take a little screenshot of it, go over to the event page for next year's 2023 summit and just drop it in there, shout yourself out, because the more that people see you on board, the more that they're going to be on board, right? It starts with me. And so if your coaches, your teammates see you getting that ticket, that's going to help people swing in that direction of, oh my gosh, like I don't want to miss out on this. And it brings a lot of energy and excitement. So please, please, please do that. Even if you commented on somebody else's, like got mine too, like actually stand up and like declare it for yourself in your own post. Please do that for me. Number 2, tomorrow is the launch of Lift More. If you've been under a rock, you might not know that, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows that Lift More is launching tomorrow for coaches and PCs. The other thing launching tomorrow is First Thing, Last Thing, and you can get that in a challenge or total solution pack with Lift More. So if you haven't gotten to try that yet, or you didn't get your hands on it at Summit, you can bundle that in a total solution pack tomorrow. There's also the Joel stack, which comes with all of the performance line that you need for this program. Don't forget that you need to buy a bench for this. I think mine is coming tomorrow. We will also be doing a Lift More launch day power hour live in the collab at 11 a.m. Central tomorrow. So if you can join me, awesome. If not, it'll be live in the collab. So whenever you go to sit down to do work tomorrow, it will be there for you to be guided through. I know in my high energy right now, because I definitely had first thing this morning, y'all. And there was a moment where I was like, click, like my brain clicked on and I was like, okay. And then even Charlie and I, we've been discussing it all day. We're like, was there like a moment where it felt like maybe you had a little too much caffeine? You know, those like weird moments where you're like, did I have like too many cups of coffee this morning? And I didn't have any. That's the wild part. It was only first thing. So I don't know, I might have to cut my dose back a little or water it down a little, because it definitely was coursing through my veins and might still be. So yeah, okay, love it. Awesome. And then yes, don't forget that there is a live workout tomorrow. Did I just collide those two at the same time? No, because the live workout's at 1 p.m. Eastern, so noon Central. Okay, so I did it right. So we're gonna do the power hour together and then we're gonna go sweat together. It'll be really, really fun. Okay, cool. I think that's it for my announcements, you guys. Let me share the screen. I've got a really great training that it's crazy. I've never done this before with you guys and with our team, because this is one of my trainings that when I host other team calls and I'm asking myself, like, what value can I offer other teams in the network? This is typically my go-to call. And I realized I don't think I've ever given it to you guys. And this one is, y'all, this is a word on a Monday. So we're talking tonight all about belief and really truly the prize being the process. So often we're looking for that end goal. So often we're looking for that, rainbow after the storm sort of situation, right? That mountaintop moment. But the reality is your process as a coach, what it builds in you, who you become along the way is everything. You guys, my favorite thing to do is to look at how I've grown since I started. And that fuels me to not give up, because I know if I've grown this much, then man, the sky's the stinking limit, right? And so you get to give yourself the gift of growth. A little bit about me. I know most of you guys know my story, but I have to come back and remind us of some things, because I think it's easy to only know the high highs. And I think sometimes we have to remember that they're accompanied by some low lows too. So I have been coaching for almost 9 years, and some people could be like, wow, that's amazing. And that's so cool. But sometimes I'm like, wow, you've been coaching 9 years, Britt. And what, right? Do something with it, right? Sometimes I have to have that talk to myself. I'm a lifetime 3-star in my first business center, and I've created diamond business centers in Charlie's, myself, my mom's, any controlled business center that I have turned into a diamond business center. Proof, you guys, that diamond's literally a decision. If I can do that in mine, my husband's, my mom's, and my second business center across the board at different times in my business, you can do it too, right? I feel like that's one of the coolest things is every time I make a business center diamond, I'm showing you guys that I'm in the trenches, and then it's not that hard. We overcomplicate it. I've also hit Success Club 63 months in a row. I'm a 6-figure earner in this business. I was featured in the 3-week yoga retreat infomercial. If you want to go late night and check it out, you can find me in my apartment. Frankie's even in the infomercial. And with this, truly, I believe with this business, Charlie and I were able to take the leap, come here to Texas, and build our dream home. Life looks a lot different than it did when I first started as the school teacher. But I think it's easy to get caught up in those things, right? To see that stuff. What you also need to know is that I bought my DVDs off Amazon. I didn't even buy my DVDs, you guys, from a Beachbody coach. I'm that person that bought them off Amazon, right? So I wasn't a challenge pack buyer. So all of you guys out there who you're I keep getting told that they don't want to buy the challenge pack, they just want Beachbody on demand. Well, that was me. So don't count anybody out. I didn't buy the challenge pack to start. I bought DVDs off Amazon. I began my journey when I was broke and broken. I put this on my credit card when I finally said yes and joined as a coach and got my challenge pack. I put it on a credit card because I had no space anywhere else. So again, if that's your story, if you feel a little bit broke right now, this should be your reason, because life should not be lived like that. You should not always use I can't afford it as an excuse for the rest of your life, right? I had to get to a point where I was no more. I'm not going to allow money to be the thing that I tell people why I can't do stuff. Especially, and I don't have kids yet, but especially, I never want to be the mom that has to tell their kids, no, honey, I can't afford that. We can't do that, right? This business fuels my fire for that, even before I have kids. I was also really broken. I wasn't a nice person, you guys. I think that's the biggest glow up from Beachbody is I learned how to be kind to humans. I don't know, but I was super broken in my own spirit. And they say hurt people. That was me. I was hurting inside, so I wanted to hurt everybody around me. I made fun of people. I gossiped about people. I left people out. And this is my chance to do things differently. I didn't sell my first challenge pack, you guys, until 5 months into this business. I did all the trainings. I did all the coach trainings, all the Emerald pushes, all the anything. Every time my coach said there was another training, I was like, okay, where do I sign up? I'm in. But for whatever reason, I couldn't quite figure out how to sell something. It took me a while. I left the classroom to go full-time Beachbody when I transitioned from Miami to California, and I failed miserably. I ended up having to get 2 part-time jobs that totaled 80 hours a week. Plus I was then trying to build my Beachbody business on top of that. And I went from this person that was utilizing their degree as a educator to cleaning toilets at Orange Theory Fitness. But the coolest part about that season, God uses everything, by the way. I was cleaning toilets, wondering why the heck I was doing that, what the point of this was in my life. But I just want you to know that the person to my left here and the person to my right in this picture, I met them because of that time cleaning toilets. I've built my team off of that season when it felt like I was a failure. Those are my up and coming leaders that I met at Orange Theory Fitness. And then when I left there, was able to connect with later down the road on social media. I faced debilitating suicidal depression during that season as well. I remember getting on a plane to go to Summit, not wanting to go to Summit. And I remember I had to get in a shuttle from the airport to my hotel, and there were a bunch of Beachbody coaches on this shuttle, and I sat in the very front row seat. I put on sunglasses and I sobbed my eyes out in the front row seat because I did not want to be there, because I just felt like I couldn't be around people and I had nothing to offer. But I got there anyway. You know what I'm saying? Even with tears streaming down my face in a Beachbody shuttle. I've never been on the National Wake Up Call. I've never hit a leader premiere. I've been stuck. I've dropped ranks. I've had to build teams only to have people completely leave, abandon ship, and have to rebuild teams. I've woken up before to negative $17 paychecks. So when you guys see pictures like this, where we're all smiling and have donuts and big dreams, or you see gals on a Success Club trip and you see all those shiny accolades, I want you to know that that comes with the process of low lows as well. It doesn't come easily. If it came easily, everyone would be there. It comes with some work. So I'm going to break down, oh, not yet. I also just want to talk really quick about being a team of one, because I think a lot of times in this business at the very beginning, it can be like, you can look around at everybody and everything that they're doing, and you can be like, well, I don't have a team yet, or I don't have, nobody's coming with me to Summit yet, right? Or I'd love to lead team trainings, but I don't think anybody will show up. And I'm here to tell you that we all start as a team of one. And we all have to go through those awkward moments where you have to just kind of throw yourself out there and try things and figure them out solo, so that as you grow and evolve, you can be trusted with more. There's a verse in the Bible, and I'll butcher it because I don't know it by heart, but it's along the lines of like, if you want to be trusted with much, you have to be trusted with little, right? So would you host a team training if no one got on? Would you still host it and record it diligently every single week? Would you be trusted with that? If you want a lot of likes on social media, are you trusted that, or you want to grow your social media? Can you be trusted with the following you have right now, that you show up for them every single day, no matter what? If you want a big team with you at Summit, are you going to Summit next year? Do you already have your ticket? Things like that, right? The successful coaches in this business, they cultivate belief, and we're going to break down this tonight, but it's belief in the company, in the team, in yourself. But it's also a fourth component. It's the compound effect too. I've always heard that you have to have belief in yourself, belief in your team, and belief in the company, and then you'll be successful. But there's this fourth component that is why I created this training, and it's this compound effect idea that I'll break down. When I started, okay, I had no experience. I was the person who, I was never in a challenge group. Some of y'all are so lucky. You've been in your Uplines BOD group for so long. My coach, I joined, I got my DVDs in the mail, and she said, have fun, go lead challenge groups. I'd never been in one. I didn't know what a challenge group was, but trust and believe that I knew how to freaking figure it out. So I didn't have the experience to go off of, but I could Google it, or I could look around and see what other coaches were doing and start to figure that out for myself. I had no business, marketing, sales experience, like truly, like from like a college aspect. Now, I believe now that I had sales experience as a teacher, because you're trying to sell your kids every day on why they need to sit in their seat and listen to you, right? But at the time, I didn't really see myself as like somebody who was good at sales or marketing or business. I was non-existent on social media. And like I said, I was a pretty mean girl. So I really didn't have a passion for helping others. I was very self-centered. But my lack of experience in those areas was all the more reason to lean in. Sometimes we look at like, oh, I'm not experienced at BOD groups. Lean in, go get experienced. Oh, I'm not really experienced at social media. Lean in, get experience. It's that there's a clue, any area. And right now, drop in the chat, what's an area of the business where you feel really inexperienced? Like, I just don't have a lot of experience in this area. Drop it in the chat. What areas are like your non-existent, lacking experience, social media, sales? inviting, sales, social media, call it all. I love it. Yeah. Onboarding coaches and customers, inviting. And I'm sure you guys are going to continue dropping more. But my friends, those areas are there, it's literal clues. There's such good news right now, right? Don't they say like awareness is like half the battle, right? Like you have an awareness of what you need to work on. Do not wait for anybody to say, oh, you need help inviting? Okay, let me walk you through it. You can't rely on anybody else. You have to be hungry enough to say, you know what? I refuse to allow this idea of inviting to be the thing that holds me back, or social media, or right? Like instead of allowing that to be the thing of why you can't be successful, why not research it? Why not find podcasts, YouTubes, or books, right? That will help you grow in that area. So I had no experience in those areas. No challenge group experience, no business or marketing experience as a teacher. I was not existent on social media. I wasn't passionate for helping others, but I did have something. I did have something. I had this elephant on my chest at the end of the day when I looked around my classroom that I was made for more. I knew it. I'd look around the classroom at the end of the day, you guys, and I'd just be like, is this it? This isn't it. I know that I'm here for like a bigger purpose. And so whatever that inner voice is for you, like it might be that elephant that you're made for more, or maybe it's that inner voice that's like, maybe I could do that too, or maybe it's an inner voice that's like, wow, like she's so confident on social, I wish I could be like that. Maybe it's an inner voice that has something to do with money and not wanting to be in debt. I don't know what that is for you, but you do. And that's what you need to cling to and lean into. Coaching is so simple. You guys hear me say it all the stinking time. 3 things. You're on your journey, you're sharing your journey, and you're helping others say yes to their own. And you hear me say this like a broken record because we haven't mastered it yet. If you're like, Brittany, you keep saying that, are your ears open? Right? Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Right? You're like, you say that all the time, Britt. I know, but are we doing it? Are we doing it? I know you're on your journey. Are you sharing it? Like, really? Are you really sharing it? And are you helping other people say yes to their own? Because that's how you get away from being that team of one. So the 4 buckets, let's go through. There's you, there's your team and your community, there's Beachbody and the products, and there's the compound effect. And we're going to break that down tonight. Okay, so belief in you. Embracing and loving the journey. You guys, 90% of the time, we are living between mountaintop moments. What does that mean? What do I mean when I say that? I would call Summit this last weekend a mountaintop moment for myself, and maybe you could call it that for you too. There were moments where I got to see light bulbs go off. There were moments where I got to see growth. There were moments where I got recognized for something that I've been working on really hard between the last summit and now, right? Those are mountaintop moments. But here's the thing. The last time I was at a mountaintop moment was the Success Club trip in March. And getting to see these gals come to Punta Cana, be on this trip from their hard work for the very first time, and get to see something that they could only ever see through a screen from me sharing, and actually have done it themselves and realize, wow, I can do it too. That was a mountaintop moment. So we're talking from March to, and I'm talking like big mountaintop moments. So from March to like July, those were mountaintop moments. What did I do between March and July? I trudged through the valley. I got up and I did work. I did things when I didn't feel like doing them. I cried, I dried my eyes, and I got back and sent out another invite. I had people cancel. I had people tell me they didn't want to go for certain goals. I had people, leave our team, like all the things, right? Like I've had all the things happen in the valley between the mountaintop moments. Guys, you have to learn how to love the mundane. If you came and hung out with me for a day, it would not look like this. I don't live in Punta Cana on a beautiful ocean, okay? If you came to hang out with me for a day, it would look like this. My tracker, a pen, and my notebook. That's what it would look like, the mundane. So if you want the flashy mountaintop moments, you got to fall in love with the mundane. Belief in yourself, which is the area I would say oftentimes is the area most people tell me that they struggle with the most. The most. Belief in you. Raise of hands. Who thinks belief in yourself is what's holding you back right now? Like, I don't believe in myself. And I get it. I get it. We're going to talk about this here in a second as I'm scrolling through. Yeah. But here's what I know. It's built through action. So when you say you feel like you lack experience, for example, in social media, have you done enough action on social media to maybe build some belief that you're okay at doing social media? I used to tell myself, you guys, I had this thing I would always say. I said it growing up, because I'm more of like an artsy fartsy creative kind of person, and I'm good at math. I can do logistical things, but I would always tell myself I'm not good at computers. I would say it. It came out of my mouth all the time. I'm not good at computers. I'm not good at computers. And then one day I realized I had to stop saying that, because I actually was really good at using computers and doing things on computers. And so I had to stop telling myself a lie that no longer existed. But the thing is, I only got to that point because I started taking action in how to get good at using a computer, right? And the same thing applies for your business. So if you're like, I'm not good at inviting, hey sis, you're not inviting enough. How about that? Right? I'm not good at inviting. Turn that into, I need to invite more so I can build my confidence, right? If you're the same person today as when you first began, I love the reason I share these pictures, you guys. You got to see baby Brit. That's my very first Beachbody like coming out post. I mean, there's another one, but my face isn't it. Like, this is the first one with my face in it, and it's me and my Shakeology. And you know what's most noteworthy to me is that I didn't smile with my teeth. Isn't that interesting? I don't think there's a picture you could find of me today where my mouth is closed. In fact, I think it's gotten more and more open the longer and longer I've been in Beachbody. This is me alone at my first summit. I used to really love doing like product pointing pictures, honestly, which is also something I wouldn't recommend anymore. This is me at my first super weekend in Miami. And this is me at on my first Zoom that I hosted for our team. I want you to know I was by myself. Nobody came to that Zoom that night, right? We have to just start somewhere. Drop the ego. So back to the same person. If I got in this training, or if y'all saw pictures of me at Summit and I looked like this still, I don't think our team would be going anywhere. We wouldn't be growing, because you can't be the same person over and over and over again. And I think that's the hardest part about this business, is that change requires change. Your goals require change. You can't achieve that goal if you don't change and grow and evolve into the kind of person that can. So I don't think of Beachbody as like shakes and a workout. I actually think of network marketing and what we do in this business as a growth opportunity. We are focused on our health, our wellness, mind, body, spirit. It's a growth opportunity. And if you're not leaning into growing and essentially then changing, it's never going to work. If you're so married to the person that you are, even if you don't like your circumstances, even if you don't like where you're at, we get so comfortable with that person, even if we don't like them. Right? So I'm calling you out today to allow yourself to grow and develop into a different kind of person. So many of you guys commented on the marriage that I have, and the example that Charlie and I, show as a couple. And I want you to know I work for that. We don't just, let me say that. I work for that. We do not wake up every day just like in love, right? Like, I work for that. And if I was the same Brittany as back here, I wouldn't have the kind of marriage I have today. I had to grow. So sometimes I think we're afraid that if we grow, the people closest to us aren't going to come along with us. That's a lie. It's not serving you. In fact, as I grew, it made Charlie want to level up his life too. How about that? Maybe you growing is going to help the people around you do the same. So whatever your next big goal is, whether that's, I want to be at 1 star, I want to be a diamond coach, I want to be, maybe your next goal is, I want to host a bod group and have like people in my community and like actually feel like a working coach. You're not the kind of person who can achieve that goal yet. You're not. You have to grow into her. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because you really do have to look in the mirror at, where am I falling short in me? And then you have to be willing to wake up the next day and do the small things that are going to lead you to become her. And I just also want to remind you, most every single person raised your hand when I said, is belief in you holding you back? And I'll join you all and raise my hand, because where I'm at right now, and the things that are laid on my heart of where I want to go, I don't believe in it yet. I don't fully believe. There's a lot of things I write down every day. And I don't fully believe that I can do that. So I want you to know that that's always going to be like the next level you get to, there's going to be another level that you want to go to that you don't fully believe in yet. So belief in you is actually kind of a myth because you're always going to find reasons not to believe in the next place you're going. So what I like to do, you guys, is I like to look for proof in the rearview mirror of how far I've come. Yeah, which is why you got to document everything. I'm so grateful, as painful, I'm flipping back, y'all. As painful as this picture is to me today, I'm so glad that I documented it because I look back in my rear view of my journey and I'm like, man, I'm proud of you, Britt. I'm proud of you for posting that. I'm proud of you for showing up and growing, right? And that helps me believe in myself because I know if I could go from there to here, then why not here to there, right? Next one, belief in your team. I'm going to give you guys some tough love on a Monday. I hope you're ready for it. We have what's called, and this comes from the book, The Energy Bus. If you've never read The Energy Bus, it's a great, quick read. And he talks about this concept of energy increasers versus energy vampires. Okay. I'm going to read from the list of increasers and I'll tell you what the contrast of a vampire would be. And you can kind of take some gut check inventory right now and say, am I increasing the energy of my team right now in this way, in this area, or am I sucking the ever loving life out of it? That's what a vampire does, right? Okay, so an energy increaser takes responsibility and ownership of their journey. They're not waiting for somebody to say, hey, what program are you doing next? Hey, did you finish your program? Hey, are you documenting your program? Right? An energy increaser just does that. They take ownership and responsibility of their journey and where they're at. An energy vampire, on the other hand, is constantly asking questions without doing research or training, right? Energy increasers move themselves towards their vision and desires daily. A vampire is a stick shift coach, meaning they're like in sometimes and they're out. And I want you to catch yourself because in a couple weeks, there might be a moment where coaching is mundane, where this feels hard and it just feels like work. The luster and allure of Summit has worn off and now you're home and you're just putting your head down and doing the work, right? At that moment, do you keep moving towards your vision and your desires daily? If so, you are increasing the energy of our team. But if not, if you start to pull back like a stick shift in a car and you start to kind of jerk back and then, then Team Cup's here. Okay, I'm back in. Oh, and then halfway through Team Cup, nobody's joined me yet. So I'm going to pull back. Oh, but I'm back because we're doing this, right? Like if you're like in and out, you're a vampire. You're sucking the life out of the team every time you do that. Energy increasers are focused on goals and action. A vampire doesn't actually have goals, just dreams, but they're not because they're not backed by action. We talked about that a lot this weekend. Increasers contribute. Woo, Lord, contribute. When's the last time you posted something on the collab that was valuable? Ask yourself that. Not a comment, a post. Have you shared with us, like Annie did today, what your invite was? That was a beautiful contribution from Annie, right? Have you shared the national wake-up call like Leah does? Contribution. Energy vampires, they don't contribute. They rely on others to do the work for them. And I like to just kind of call you a wallflower. And a wallflower, it's not serving you and it's not serving our team, right? Which kind of goes with the next one too. So inviting others along on this journey with them. If you're increasing energy, you want people to join you. So you're going to continue to reach out regardless of people's responses. But the energy vampires, you're just going to stay back. Like I said, wallflower mentality. Increasers, they crave community and serving others. Vampires are self-serving, me, right? Refusing to waste energy on those who don't see their vision and naysayers. Ooh, this is a gut check. As an increaser, you have a choice. If somebody comes in and says no or has a negative comment, do you take that to the thread and then like share about how Becky was so mean to you today? Or do you just, okay, Becky was mean to me today, moving on, right? Y'all, rarely will you ever see me come in and share something about a naysayer or something about anybody who's sucking my energy away. Rarely will you see that. And if I do, I usually use it as a teachable moment, right? You don't have to come and tell your team that Becky was rude in your inbox today. You can just be like, well, Becky's having a bad day, moving on. Energy vampires, however, waste lots of energy on things that don't matter. enthusiastic, energetic, solution driven versus negative, pessimistic, excuse driven. And keep in mind, my friends, your excuses could be covered up as reasons. You could be masking your excuses and calling them reasons, but let's be real, right? And then last, an increaser is coachable and self-motivated, and a vampire is only motivated when someone is dragging them along. Which one are you? Where do you gravitate more towards? And here's the thing, if the gut check and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm a vampire, this is awesome. It's just like earlier when you had awareness around, what did we bring awareness around earlier? I can't even remember now, but it's just awareness. So if you're like, wow, I actually have been sharing a lot of things that don't matter. Like when somebody cancels and quits, when my coach cancels, I don't have to go tell the thread about it. Or when Becky said no, I don't have to tell the people about it. I can actually flip that and put my energy on sending more invites out, right? So if you're leaning towards the right of this screen, that's okay. Awareness. Ask yourself before you post, ask yourself before you do the things, right? Which one you want to be. So let's continue on with belief in your team now that we've done a little bit of gut check, because you are your team. And so if you're like, our team, by the way, is super special. I need y'all to know that real quick. Like, I have a lot of friends in other teams who lead other teams, and got to see them at Summit and chat with them, between and passing between sessions and things like that. And a lot of my friends are further along, or maybe are on the stage, or maybe being recognized for things that our team hasn't been recognized for yet. Remember that list in the beginning where it's like, I haven't done this yet. I haven't done this yet. I have a lot of friends who have done those things, and I look to them for guidance. But what was really interesting to me at Summit was our team had more people there than any of my other peers who I am personally like, I know in real life, right? Like I'd walk up and hug and they know me. You know what I'm saying? We had more people there. And I have to pause and ask myself, why? What have we done on our team that's allowed people to want to be together? I think we've done a lot of things right. So when I talk about your team, I start it with these gut checks because it's you. Like toxicity on our team cannot exist. And I shut that stuff down quite often, but I think what's more important is becoming like a self coach that shuts it down before anyone has to do that for you, right? The thing is, sometimes we think, oh, we don't have influence. Like, I don't have influence yet. I don't have a team yet. I don't have coaches yet. I don't have yet, right? But you have influence right where you are. We use this word influencer on social media these days. Like it's this like grand thing. Put somebody on a pedestal, call them an influencer, but you're an influencer. Yes, you, right where you are. The people around you, you influence them. Yeah? People will duplicate what they see you doing. If they never see you drinking a shake, and then when you try to tell them about a challenge pack, they're like, no, I just want workouts. Have you only been showing them workouts on your stories? Because then maybe that's why they don't see a value in the other parts of the total solution pack, right? Are you showing the value of those things? People duplicate what they see you doing. Are you in your bod group bringing like the most energy ever? Because people will duplicate what they see you doing, right? Showing up to live and team events, no matter who else attends. My friends, I told you guys this like last week or whatever on our call, that there were many summits that I went alone before anybody came, but I had to pave the way. And I told you guys that in our summit thread today too, as well. Like you could never expect somebody else to go to that event if you don't go to that event, right? Asking yourself how you can contribute and collaborate. We just talked about that. What do your people need from you? Over the years, there's so many things where I'm like, okay, my people need mindset support. So boom, we do book clubs. Okay. Oh, my people need, when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, people needed like to know that they weren't alone at home. So I created what we know now as Win the Morning. Nutrition support. We realized really quickly with Gut Protocol that, man, like this is a little bit more complex than we initially thought. We need weekly meal planning parties so that we can help one another out and have a lot of recipe ideas and swap ideas so that we finish this program and don't burn out because we're just too overwhelmed by the meal planning part, right? So how do you provide that sort of support? community and team building events. Back in the day, I used to do, like, we'd go hiking in the mountains in California. We'd do wine tastings. I used to do a pumpkin carving thing in October. We've done cookie swaps at Christmas time. I've done Galentine's, where we pick somebody like Secret Santa style, but we do it for Galentine's. I do Spirit Weeks now too on our team page. Like, there's just so many. I'm sure you could find a million different team building events that you've seen through just our team. But how do you do that for your people, even with just one, right? Because this is what I've learned. People have a hard time quitting something they feel like they belong to. So if you're like, wow, I have a lot of coach cancellations, or people end up canceling and they don't tell me, they don't message me, they just cancel. Now, by the way, that does happen to me as well. Don't think that like that's something that like only happens to you. That happens to everybody. But in general, I feel like our team started to build some momentum when people realized that they belonged. So maybe your team, especially for my up and coming leaders, rising leaders, and even leaders who are trying to build like solid leadership with your team, maybe that is something for you to start transitioning into. Believing in your team starts with you, and creating a community where people don't want to quit because they feel like they belong. How do you create those moments? How do you let people know they matter? There's so many opportunities for that. Next one is belief in Beachbody. So as we're going through, I hope you're doing some checking, like, okay, belief in myself. How can I'm lacking a little, how can I build it? Belief in my team. Okay, I feel like I believe in my team, but how can I like level this up even a little bit more? The next one is belief in Beachbody. And I start with this question because I really want to know, do you like actually like Beachbody? Like, do you? If this has enhanced your life, like, has it? Do you love it? Here's the thing. If you don't, go get some results. Because when I started, you guys, I believed, here's the anomaly about Brittany. When I started, I believed in myself. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I could do this. I totally think I could do this. These women, they kind of look like women like me. I could do this. Okay, number two, I believed in the team, like maybe not my team, but I believed in the team I was a part of and my coach, and I believed in where we were going, and I believed in it. I believed in, if she told me to do something, I was super coachable, right? I loved it. But when it came to Beachbody, you guys, remember, I bought my DVDs on Amazon. I didn't know anything about like Beachbody and like Shakeology and all this other stuff. I didn't really bleed, like they say, Beachbody blue. Like, I wasn't a lifer. I didn't really care. Truthfully, at the time, I just started because I needed a side hustle. I needed extra income on top of my teacher salary. So how did I build belief? Because I did not love Beachbody when I started. In fact, I was a little bit, if I can be honest, on a Monday, I was a little embarrassed that I was a Beachbody coach. And it's okay if you're like, sometimes it's hard for me to tell people I'm a Beachbody coach because I'm like worried about what they'll think. That was me. And it had not enhanced my life in any way, shape, or form yet. So what did I have to do in order to build this belief? I had to go get some results. I dabbled way too much in the beginning. In fact, I bought T25, you guys, and I didn't even do T25. I bought T25 in October when I became a coach. Fast forward, I didn't even do T25 until May of the following year. That just shows you how long it took me to actually like follow a program the way it was designed. So if you don't have the belief, follow a program and lean in harder, because it will come. Remember, belief is built through action. So just take more action. And if you are, which I think most of you on the call right now are believers, own it. Own that stuff and share it unapologetically, right? Think about the last thing you shared without a thought. I'll give you one of mine. These shoes right here. Without a thought, you guys, I can't walk anywhere without somebody saying something about my shoes. I can't. And every time somebody says, oh my God, I love your shoes, you know what my response is? Thanks, I got them on Amazon. Amazon does have an affiliate program, you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, not a single time that has come out of my mouth have I gotten paid for recommending these shoes to someone else. I mean, I guess I could, but when I'm out on the street, I'm not like, oh, hold on, let me give you my affiliate link, right? No, it's just weird, right? I just, without a thought, thanks, I got them on Amazon. This is the same. When someone's like, oh my gosh, you look amazing, thanks. It's this sisterhood. I love it. You should totally do it with me. Share it without a thought. If you love it, share it, right? What are things that helped me like Beachbody and figure out how to believe in this company, getting to events? I'm gonna give another gut check on a Monday. I hope I'm not kicking your dogs too hard tonight. You guys, I was talking to Charlie in the car about this, about getting to events. And I was telling him, wow, I was like really surprised because I put up the event page for next year's summit and people started clicking going, going, going. And I was like, yeah, that's so fun. Look at how the numbers are going up. That's so fun. And people started dropping. They're like, got my tickets, got my tickets. And I was like, yes, this is awesome. Like people are like actually coming to summit. This is so cool. It's a year away and people are already saying yes and like all in. I love it. I freaking love it. And then I started to notice that people were clicking maybe, maybe. And I was trying to like wrap my head around this idea. And Charlie said, he's like, Britt, that's kind of like if they were to say like, do you want to be a coach? And you're like, maybe. Well, do you want to help people like the way you were helped? Maybe. The kids say to you, Mom, do you want to go after your dreams? Maybe. You see what maybe sounds like when I put it like that? That's what your maybe sounds like when you click maybe of going to an event that's a year away. You can't tell me you have something happening. Oh, you can't tell me you have something happening during that weekend. It's a year away. And if it's a money issue, you have a business opportunity right in front of you to go sell 3 challenge packs, 3, and it will overcover what you need to do. So get to events. If you're a maybe coach, I'm going to tell you this with so much love in my heart right now. If you're a maybe, like the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you might as well take both feet out. Maybe is never going to serve you to be successful. Your dreams are not maybe dreams. Your vision is not a maybe vision, right? And when you keep showing up as like a maybe, as a hesitant, it's just never going to work. It's never going to work. And I want so badly for the things on your heart to work for you. So get to events. Fully invest in all launches. This launch tomorrow is going to be epic. Fully invest in it. Try everything. First thing, last thing, try it, right? Yes, I know first thing and last thing are a high ticket item. I get it. I know that. Try it. Because here's the thing, if you don't try it, then how do you even talk about it to anybody else, right? And remain open and coachable through it all. So often, I think what holds most people back from being successful truly isn't the belief in themselves. It's really not the belief in our team. Sometimes it's belief in Beachbody because we put a little bit of a guard up because it's like MLM, it's network marketing. And so we put this like guard up, like, we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. And that guard, again, it's just not serving you. Okay, we're getting close, guys. 4th part of belief, the 4th bucket is the compound effect. And this is like my add-on. Okay, I got some of y'all at Summit. If you watch the Summit live stream, you guys probably remember Trina Gray speaking. And Trina Gray is the one who gave me this idea about the 3 buckets of belief, that no top coach that you saw this weekend, every person on that stage believes in themselves, they believe in their team, and they believe in Beachbody. And Trina Gray taught me that concept, that there's 3 beliefs that all successful coaches need. And I love it. And I clung to that until I realized, Trina, you're missing something. And that's the cool thing, you guys. Trina was on stage. She is like an OG coach, uber successful, right? And you could easily like just take her words and be like, it's gold. That's it. But I'm a little bit of a rebel. And sometimes I challenge things and I'm like, we're missing something. I think you can have belief in yourself, belief in Beachbody, and belief in the team. I've seen a lot of people who have all 3. And I've seen them quit when something gets hard or the business isn't moving as fast as they want it to, or they're stuck at a rank, or they were hitting Success Club for a long time and then all of a sudden they had like an off month and they didn't hit it. And I've seen a lot of coaches quit in those tougher moments. And here's the thing, they don't have staying power. They don't believe in the compound effect. The compound effect, you guys, it's the strategy of reaping huge, massive rewards from what we call small, seemingly insignificant actions. It's your small choices done consistently over time that give you results. Small choices done consistently over time bring results. So you have to really lean in. What is your staying power? Sometimes my staying power is I simply never want to feel the way I felt ever again. I'll never forget taking that picture on the left. I never wanted to feel like that ever again. And it's not because of like my love handles pouring out of my leggings or anything like that. It wasn't even that. It was what was going on in here and in here, right? I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So I started taking small steps consistently over a long period of time. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, damn, I guess it worked. And your business is the same. That's why I love that this business parallels our fitness journey, right? Because they're very similar. Let's talk really quick about time management, because I think this is important. Because I've heard a lot of people lately, especially, which is why we did a training a while back with Annie and Kristen, and they helped you guys walk through their scheduling and all this stuff. Because we've heard time and time again, I'm just really bad at managing my time. And here's the thing, that's not a thing. Time management's not a thing, you guys. Why? You can't manage time. It ticks whether you're managing it or not. I have the same hours that Holly has. Margot has the same hours as me, right? Like we all have the same amount of hours in the day. So I can't manage that time. That time passes no matter what. What I can manage, you guys, and please, like if you get anything tonight and you're like, mind blown, you can't manage time, but you can manage yourself. Whoo, gut check, right? Friends, I don't know a single successful person who isn't busy. And if you've ever thought to yourself, I could be successful if I did this full time like Brittany, I want to swap places with you for a day and I'll show you how I can rock your business. I could rock some of y'all's business, juggling babies and a full-time job, because I've learned how to self-manage myself. Right? Now, am I wanting to swap places with some of you guys? Absolutely not. Y'all are heroes in my eyes. Like, y'all are amazing. But maybe something that you take away tonight is that you haven't been managing yourself very well, so that everything else now just kind of feels like chaos. And it feels like you don't have time management. And it feels like you can't be successful because it feels like you're so busy. But there's hidden hours in your day. And no, I won't even say that. Let me go even smaller. There are hidden minutes in your day. Where are the minutes that you're wasting? The time suckers, the scrolling, right? Anything that is wasting time, you can start self-managing that and using it for your better. Like I said in the beginning, it's all about this journey, right? You've got to make figuring it out fun. All those things you shared with me earlier tonight about inviting or social media, how could you make figuring it out fun? Right? Because if it's not fun, you're going to quit. And here's the thing, we live in a culture of quit. And what I'm asking you when you are stepping into this belief of the compound effect is unlearning the quit. Unlearning quit. We learned how to quit at some point, you guys. Think about it. Some of y'all mamas know what I'm talking about. I don't remember learning how to walk, but I've seen babies do it. They don't quit, do they? They freaking knock the coffee table with the corner of their skull, and you're like probably mortified, like, oh my God, I damaged my child. And they sit down, right? They fall on their booty, and they probably grab the coffee table and pull themselves back up, and they try again, right? They don't know quit. We are taught that at some point. At some point, you learn how to quit. And now is your chance to unlearn that. Unlearn that. Unlearn any habits that are no longer serving you. Unlearn any habits that are holding you back. And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about of like the maybes on the, summit event page. Would it serve your marriage to be like, I mean, let's just see how this works. Like maybe in a year we'll still be together. What? No, like take divorce off the table. If you stood there on your wedding day with one foot in and one foot out, Lord help you, right? I guarantee on your wedding day, you probably had both feet in and you were like, this is amazing, right? It's after the dust settles and things start to like become a little mundane that sometimes the other foot slips out, right? How can you be the kind of person that stays in? And then what are the small, seemingly insignificant things that are serving you? Right now, you're probably doing some awesome things. So like, I know I've been like gut checking you and like kicking your dog and all the stuff, but hey, like clap for yourself really quick. What small things are serving you? Maybe it's been serving you to get on every Monday night. You're like, I'm really proud of myself. In 2022, I've got on Monday night team trainings more often than not, probably like 100% of the time. Maybe it's really small and it's serving you, but you've been posting in your stories every day for the last week. And that was uncomfortable for you, but you You really are getting in a rhythm of it. Small, insignificant things that are serving you, but there's also ones that are holding you back. So what are the small, seemingly insignificant things that are holding you back? Maybe you're going to bed too late, so it's really hard to wake up in the morning to have any semblance of a morning routine. Maybe something holding you back is you refuse to talk to your spouse or your household about how important this business is to you and how it makes you feel and why you want to really just go all in and try. Maybe that's holding you back. It's small, seems insignificant. Maybe you every night you put on Netflix to wind down, which is totally fine. Amen. I do it. But maybe every time you put on Netflix, it's a trigger for you to pour a glass of wine, and that's not serving you and it's holding you back because one turns into two, turns into like the whole bottle, right? So you only know what those are, but there are ones that are serving you and there are ones that are holding you back. We don't gain 100 pounds from one In-N-Out burger. We do it when we eat it over and over and over and over again, right? Just like we don't lose the weight with one salad. We don't die of lung cancer with one cigarette, but there are people that do when they smoke over and over and over again. That's the compound effect. You don't notice it right away. After a while, though, you start to see the results of that compounded behavior. So, how do you build belief? That's really the $1 million question tonight. And what I want you to walk away from Summit weekend, like, I know we're on fire. Next week, we're going to do it's going to be so fun. You guys are going to do Christmas in July. So you can, if you've got peppermint mocha, Shakeology, first of all, that stuff goes bad. So you better start using it up, okay? Look at the expiration dates. By the way, side note, I got to say this. In the sisterhood, I was like, really sad because a lot of people have pumpkin spice Shakeology. And I was like, how do y'all still have that? Like, send me some. And I had people, y'all, send me packets of pumpkin spice Shakeology. And I made my first one. This was a couple months back. I made my first one and I was like, that tastes a little strange. And I looked, they were all expired. So this is how I know people love me. They sent me expired Shakeology. You guys, it expires. So please use it up. But peppermint mocha Shakeology, wear your ugly Christmas sweaters, get your magazines, your cutouts, get a little cardboard that you can, glue your stuff on if you're a tactile person, or you can do it on Canva if you want to make a vision board. We're going to do a vision board party next week to revamp anything that you started the year with. Maybe it needs a little revamping, right? If you did it with us last December, or if you've never done it, this is your chance to make one and be like something that you have in front of you every day. So number one, that's next week. Okay. And you're all lit up. Like, I know you're coming off Summit, you're high energy, you're excited. And I wanted to ground us today before we make our vision board that you have what it takes. It's just that there's an area of belief that at some point is going to be tested. And I want you to call it normal. I want you to lean into your success sisters and the people who are running this race with you when that starts to happen and say, I'm really struggling with how to help serve my team right now. What are some ideas you have? Do you hear that? Do you hear how different I asked that? I didn't come in and say, Susie filled out her cancellation form today. I'm just really depressed. I didn't say that. I said, man, you guys, I'm really struggling right now bringing my team together. I feel like they're really quiet. What are some things you're doing that's working for you? And then in response, I don't go in and say, oh my God, you're amen. My team's quiet too. Join the club. No, I say, wow, I totally get you. What I'm trying to do lately, and I don't know if it's working really well, but we'll see. I'm going to keep practicing it. But lately, what I've been doing is I've been texting my coaches every Friday, asking how their week went and seeing how I could help them the next week. Do you see the difference? One is a culture based on problems. The other is a culture based on solutions. You know what I'm saying? Let's be the culture that's based on solutions. So how do you build belief in yourself? You're on your journey, you're sharing your journey, and you're inviting others to start their own. Every time I get a win, somebody's like, yeah, Britt, I want to join you. You inspired me. I'm ready to do this. I have belief in myself as a coach. You want to know why you might not believe in yourself as a coach? Because no one said yes yet, but they're out there. So you've got to keep flipping over those cups, looking for them, because if you don't, you're going to start to believe this lie that you're not cut out for this. And that's a lie. It's not true. Belief in your team, serve without ever expecting anything, in return. Without ever expecting anything in return. Do not serve with an expectation of, if I do this, then they'll give me this. It's a surefire way to be disappointed. Lead where you are. You got one person, lead them. Two people, lead them. A spouse, lead them. And check your energy. Are you the vampire? Are you sucking it out, or are you enhancing, right? Oh, here's another one. I'm going to give another example of an energy sucker that I've noticed. Whenever somebody invites people to join a meetup, Like, hey, I'm going to get on Win the Morning and do this Jared ride. Who wants to join me? And then you come in and say, oh, I wish, I have to work. Is that the right energy? Or say, oh my gosh, have so much fun. I can't make it today. Right? Slightly different. Okay. Beachbody. How do you build belief in Beachbody? Get to events. Like I said, if you didn't listen to me earlier and go off and get your summit ticket, you better get off this call when I'm done and get your summit ticket before it goes up. And if you're like, I just don't think I can, you need to go have a crucial conversation with your family today about how you can make that happen right now. Right now. Embrace launches. Tomorrow's gonna be such an awesome day. I can't wait to see how y'all embrace it. Same thing though, like Strawberry Lemonade Energize, first thing, last thing. There's so many opportunities to embrace launches and try new things and be a student of Beachbody. Get to know Beachbody, learn about Beachbody, research your supplements, right? And then that compound effect, give it time, unlearn the quit, and reflect and adjust regularly, my friends. That is all I've got for you tonight.